Answer me one thing. When did money become the yardstick that measures who lives?
And who just survives?
Have you ever noticed that, in practice, it seems like your entire existence depends on how many digits appear in your bank account balance? It doesn't matter who you are, your dreams, your qualities. If the money doesn't fall in, it seems like you simply
Don't exist. And if you've never thought about it,
I'm sorry, but it's time to face this reality head on. Just imagine, you wake up.
the alarm clock goes off, not because you wanted to, but because you need it. The first thing you do is not even open your eyes properly. It's to look at your bank app, and there it is, staring at you, as if to say, my partner.
Your peace of mind depends on me. The bill is due. Rent eats up almost half of your salary. Gas is more expensive than your self-esteem.
And the credit card, well, it's become a toxic relationship that you can't end.
You know what's even crazier?
Everyone
Thinks this is normal.
The whole society has taught you that this is just being an adult.
Working to the limit, chasing money, and at the end of the month, seeing it all disappear. And when you take a deep breath and ask, man, is that it? Is this all there is to life? The answer comes dry, cold, cruel. Yes. And if you complain,
There is a line to take your place. Now, look around you. How many people do you know who live like this?
on this hamster wheel, running, without moving?
Maybe you yourself are there, in this game whose rules have never been explained to you.
Or worse,
They explained them to you, but they left out one detail. The game was made for you to lose, and if you think I'm exaggerating, stay with me until the end.
what you are about to discover now may surprise you or even revolt you.
Because, deep down, this is what no one likes to admit. Money is not just a tool. It has become a sentence. If you have it, you buy time, health, comfort, and
Dignity.
if you don't have it, well, then you just buy
More time.
to try to survive another month.
And ironically, the system that you support with your sweat is the same one that keeps you stuck in a job that you hate, in bills that never stop coming, in a lifestyle that you were told was the right thing to do, but that, in reality,
Only drains you. Tell me something.
have you ever felt butterflies in your stomach on payday? Not from joy, but from fear.
Fear of doing the math and realizing that, even working like a madman, will not close. Fear of looking to the future and seeing
Nothing, just more bills, more interest, more charges.
it's as if every penny were an invisible chain, pulling you, suffocating you, reminding you that
Here, in the real world, the ones who rule are the ones who have it, and those who don't have it have to fight, and fight hard. But has it always been like this?
is there a way to break this cycle?
Are we really free? Or have we just exchanged iron chains for digital ones? Calm down.
Hold that question there, because what comes next will make you see this game in a way that you may never have stopped to think about.
And look,
If anything has made sense to you so far, if in some way this reflection has already touched that uncomfortable corner of your head, the one you usually try to ignore so as not to freak out, then do the following. Leave it here in the comments. Tell me.
have you ever felt this way? Have you ever had that feeling that you are stuck in a game that never lets you win? I really want to know.
And this isn't just talk from a desperate YouTuber. No, it's real. Because when you comment,
When you share your vision, your indignation, your story,
this stops being just a video. It becomes a space for exchange, for venting,
for resistance, maybe.
and man,
If you're here, watching until now, you know that this content is not that empty fast food that you find out there. This is a conversation that no one has the courage to have at a bar, at college, at work.
So, if you think more people need to hear this, hit the like button.
Seriously, it seems silly, right?
But this simple click makes this message escape the bubbles and reach more people who, just like me, just like you, are wondering, is this really all there is to life? And if you feel like you found a place where uncomfortable questions aren't avoided,
But rather, blatantly thrown right in your face.
then
Subscribe now, because, seriously,
this isn't just any channel.
this is like a secret club, the kind that doesn't appear in the perfect life ads on Instagram. Here, we talk about the things that no one wants to talk about. Here, we poke at your wounds, but not to make you suffer.
It's to wake you up, and who knows,
Help you see that, as cruel as this game may seem, understanding the rules is the first step to starting to break them.
So, if this conversation is bothering you, stay with me, because now we're going to open a door that, once you've gone through, it's hard to close again. Now, I want to go even deeper into this subject, because if you stop and think about it, this isn't new.
This model that forces you to exchange your life for money has been ingrained since humans decided to live in society. But there was a perverse plot twist along this journey. The chains stopped being visible.
Before, it was iron. It was steel. It was a rope around the neck. It was
A whip on the back. Today,
it's bills, fees, interest, a negative balance that suffocates you without touching you.
the craziest thing is that this has been romanticized, sold as evolution.
As if you were now free, in control of your choices, the protagonist of your own life. But look closely.
Since when is choosing between paying rent or buying food freedom? Since when has accepting any job for any salary just to avoid being swallowed up by the system become synonymous with a winning
Mentality. This is not freedom. This is just gourmet slavery, packaged on a credit card and paid in 12 interest-free installments, or with interest that you pretend you didn't see.
And to make matters worse, they still teach you that if you're broke, if you're in debt, if you're suffocating, it's your fault. It's because you didn't study hard enough.
Because you didn't wake up at 5 in the morning to do that motivational dance in front of the mirror. Because you didn't read that book about
How to become a millionaire in 7 steps while drinking coffee without sugar and repeating prosperity mantras.
But no one tells you the truth hidden behind this nice speech. The game was never made for you to win.
In reality, it was designed to suck every drop of your energy and make you think that this is normal. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that even your mental health has become a product?
Are you anxious?
Buy a course.
Are you depressed?
Sign up for a meditation app. Are you?
Exhausted?
Go to therapy, which, guess what, also costs money.
It's as if the very system that makes you sick sells the cure. It's such a perverse, well-designed cycle that, when you realize it, you're already so in it that you think the problem is you.
But it's not. It never was.
And the cruelest thing of all is how this affects your perception of time.
Because when your entire life revolves around paying bills, you don't live in the present.
You live in the next bill.
The next payment, the next invoice, and life, it goes by.
While you run, only to discover in the end that you ran a marathon with no finish line.
This isn't just about money. This is about impact, about control, about how the gears of this system are set up to turn your existence into an endless search for something that never arrives. The promise is always the same. Work harder, strive harder, be more productive, and who knows, one day you'll have the life you deserve.
But that one day never comes.
Because while you're chasing it, someone else is always moving the finish line. Comment here, that makes sense to me. If at any point in your life you have ever felt like you were chasing something that, deep down, seemed impossible to achieve.
Because now I want to go even deeper into this subject. Because if there's one thing this system knows how to do well,
It's create invisible enemies. They're everywhere. You can't see them, but you
can feel them.
and you can feel them on your skin, in your pocket, in your stomach, and in the anxiety that wakes you up at 3 in the morning, reminding you that tomorrow there's more work, more demands, more bills.
More of that emptiness disguised as routine. And the craziest thing,
You think this is normal,
you think this is just how it is.
that growing up, maturing, and being responsible means accepting to live with this weight on your shoulders. Think about it. When did we start accepting that our salaries no longer keep up with the cost of living?
That it's okay to work all month long and then, in the end, see almost everything go down the drain on rent, groceries, transportation, and other payments that you swore would be easy, but that now strangle you more than that bank manager offering you a payroll loan. And as if that weren't enough, inflation comes along. Silent, cruel, sneaky.
That invisible thief that steals your purchasing power, your peace, your perspective, without even apologizing.
But perhaps the most treacherous stab is not in the price of bread or the electricity bill. It's in the advertising, because it doesn't just sell you products. It sells you the idea that if you don't have that,
You've failed.
that if you didn't buy that cell phone, didn't go on that trip, don't have that car, that body, that lifestyle,
You're out of the game.
and look at the cruel irony. They make you feel inadequate. They make you chase an unattainable standard. And they still convince you that it's your fault. That if you didn't get there, it's because you didn't work hard enough, didn't try hard enough, didn't believe enough.
And so, you wake up every day and set out on this exhausting journey of seeking something that was never meant to be achieved. Meanwhile, the wheel turns.
You work, consume, pay, get into debt, get sick.
And repeat.
And do you know what the dirtiest part of this whole story is?
It's that those who
Control this game don't even need to watch you anymore. They don't even need to threaten you anymore.
because you put yourself on a leash, you demand of yourself.
You punish yourself, exhaust yourself, and nullify yourself to continue being a functional cog in this system that only works because you don't stop.
It's a loop so well designed that it's actually brilliant.
And scary.
Because, deep down, you don't work to live.
You live to pay, to pay bills,
to pay taxes,
to pay interest.
and
When you finally pay off a debt,
congratulations, there's another one waiting.
and another one, and another one. And it's in this cycle that life passes by.
And it passes by so quickly that, before you know it,
You're older, more tired.
and you start to wonder, when exactly did living become just surviving? Write in the comments, I'm on this journey too, if at any time you have felt that. No matter how much you run, the game always seems to be against you.
Because now, I want to go even deeper into this subject. Now, I want to go even deeper into this subject because if up until now it feels like you're fighting against something gigantic, just wait until you look at the tools they gave you to face this game.
And look, if you think you're ill-equipped, you're right.
Because, honestly, it's almost comical if it weren't tragic.
What they offered you was a perfect combination of broken promises, a diploma that, in practice, is now worth less than a QR code on your resume. A LinkedIn full of available for the market posts that the market simply pretends not to see.
And, of course, a salary that evaporates faster than hope on the day your credit card expires.
Think about it. You've been told your whole life that studying, working hard, and doing everything right would guarantee you a decent life.
And then you enter the job market
And discover that your dream education is worth, at most, a job that requires fluent English, a postgraduate degree, total,
availability, and
a salary that doesn't even pay your rent. That's when that classic job opening for a 20-year-old with 10 years of experience doesn't appear.
you have to laugh so you don't freak out. And do you know what's even more cruel?
It's that, while they throw you into this jungle,
Your survival arsenal as a joke.
your sword, a 20-something Rias meal voucher, which doesn't even pay for a cooked dinner and a juice in the city center. Your shield, a health plan with zero payments, which makes you think twice before getting sick because the consultation is more expensive than the medicine itself. And your armor,
Oh,
that's made of unattainable goals, absurd deadlines, and that forced smile of someone who has to appear grateful just for having a job. And if all else fails, and spoiler alert, it will eventually. The system's promise is simple. Invest in yourself. Take a course, buy any book, sign up for this mentoring program, reinvent your career, be your own entrepreneur, because the fault, of course, is never the system's. The fault is yours for not adapting,
for not moving fast enough.
for not knowing how to sell your own labor in the market of life.
It is at this point that transformation becomes a constant demand.
Not a choice, but an obligation.
And this pressure is not only financial.
It is psychological, emotional, existential, because while you try to understand the rules, you realize that they change all the time, and that the person controlling the board has never really explained to you how the game works.
But, of course, they blame you for not knowing how to play.
The hidden truth is that your tools weren't designed to protect you. They were designed to keep you busy.
To give you the false sense that you're in control while you run mindlessly on a treadmill that never takes you anywhere.
And the more you run, the more tired you become.
And the more the system profits from your exhaustion.
Comment here, that makes sense to me. If at some point you too have had that bitter feeling of looking at your own life and thinking, man, is this seriously all I have to face this entire system?
Because now I want to go even deeper into this subject. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject.
Because there is a revelation that, if you haven't realized it yet, will hurt, but it will also set you free.
You know that voice that whispers in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you failed,
That it's your fault because you didn't wake up at 5 in the morning, didn't read 50 books in a month, didn't take that miracle course that promises to transform your mindset in 21 days. Well, that voice isn't yours. It never was. It is the perfect reproduction of a system that feeds on your guilt.
And look how cruel. They sell you the illusion that if you didn't get rich, if you didn't prosper, if you didn't achieve that life you see in movies and influencers, the problem is with you,
With your effort,
with your discipline.
with your lack of focus, as if the world were a fair meritocracy where those who work harder earn more.
But answer me honestly,
Since when does effort guarantee reward?
because if that were true, the person who wakes up every day at 4 in the morning to catch 2 buses and a train should be a millionaire.
The hidden truth, which no one likes to talk about, is simple, direct, and brutal. It is not you who is failing, it's the game that was made for you to
Lose and look.
They don't even try to hide it that much. It's right in front of you, every day.
While you're racking your brains trying to figure out how to make your salary last until the end of the month, there are people who profit simply from your existence.
The rent you pay, the interest on your credit card, the car loan, even that coffee you pay in installments.
All of this fills the pockets of those who never needed to play this game because they were born masters of the board.
This is where the penny drops.
And when it does, you can't unsee it because you realize that it's not about a lack of effort.
It's about a model that forces you to run without ever getting there, that convinces you that transformation is possible, but only if you consume more, work more, and exhaust yourself more. And if, even then, it doesn't work out, the guilt, guess what?
Comes back to you. This is not just an economic issue.
It is psychological, social, existential.
It is a perfect engineering to keep you busy, exhausted, disconnected from any real possibility of questioning.
To look behind the scenes of this system and realize that, while you blame yourself, they toast with champagne.
Because your guilt
Is what finances their comfort.
And in the midst of all this, you find yourself thinking, is it possible to escape? Is there really a way out? Or is the only option to accept it, bow your head and continue living in this eternal financial Russian roulette, where every
Month is a new bullet spinning in the drum, ready to see if you survive.
or go broke?
Comment here, I am on this journey too, if at some point in your life you have realized that this game was never made for you to win.
Because now I want to go even deeper into this subject, and if you've come this far,
It's because, somehow, this conversation made sense to you.
and man, that already says a lot about who you are, about the kind of restless mind that doesn't accept living on autopilot, that questions, that seeks to understand what's behind this whole game. So, if you felt that this reflection provoked you, made you think, or even gave you that slight discomfort that comes before transformation, subscribe to the channel now, because that's exactly what we talk about here. Truths that no one likes to say, but that need to be said.
And seriously, comment below, I am with you until the end, just so I know who has stayed here, who is really on this journey with me, breaking
These illusions and facing head on what many people prefer to pretend they don't see.
If this conversation connected with you, if at some point you found yourself in these situations, leave a like.
Because it's not just a button,
It's a clear sign that this conversation needs to continue.
that this type of content makes sense. And of course, it makes this message reach more people who are lost in this same maze and take advantage
There's a video here that complements everything we talked,
about today. Click there and continue with me there.
because the journey is just beginning.